Now it is time for Give Me the Headlines presented by Hyundai. And this is Pete, give me the headlines in my ear because I perhaps have forgotten them. This is one of my favorite parts of the podcast.
I know this is one of your favorites.
You're like,
yes,
Pete, you go, Pete, what did I say again for this one? And
yeah.
so that'll be for all four of them. So Pete's ready to go here. We got 4 games to get through. Browns versus the Vikings, 14-7. And this was Kevin Stefanski against his former team.
The pupil has become the master.
Oh, there's your headline.
Boom,
Yeah.
man. Next level stuff right there.
Although it wasn't necessarily a masterful performance from Cleveland, but it was good enough to get the win.
I think what it was, we saw a game where 2 coaching staffs who had great knowledge of each other knew the next move each team was trying to make. I mean, really couldn't get anything going all together. The difference being, I think, really ultimately just like, hey, Cleveland's just more talented, period. Yeah. I think that's where I would look at it more than anything. Made a few more plays, but their 2-headed monster at running back, and their defense just every week seems to be getting better and better. And ever since that first week showing against Kansas City, it's been pretty damn good. But, their ability just to impose their will with the 2 guys at running back, it is special. And they needed it yesterday. Yep. Because I'll say this, for the second week in a row, Baker Mayfield did not play well or throw the ball well. No way. He has thrown the ball as badly as I've seen him throw it in 2 games, really maybe since like his rookie year or some of those struggles in the second year with Freddie Kitchens.
He has a mental block with Odell Beckham.
I think so. There's something there. Last week, Odell was open way more than what he got. Like first week against the Bears, I think he had like 6 for 75 or something like that.
Yeah.
It should have been like 10 for 170. Yesterday, again, I like to go back and watch the film, but there was definitely 2 or 3 throws. One of them, which was a wide open 60-yard touchdown, and Baker Odell couldn't even get a hand on it. I mean, we're talking about Odell Beckham Jr. is like the greatest adjuster to the football in the history of the planet. Mm-hmm. Couldn't even do it. It is the weirdest thing. I haven't seen anything like it since Jameis Winston to Deshaun Jackson with Tampa a few years ago, where Deshaun Jackson was probably open for like 10 touchdowns and 700 yards of receiving during the year, and Jameis Winston could not hit him. There's something about the body language, the explosiveness of how the guys come out of the cuts that Baker's having a hard time reading, and he just cannot connect with the guy. It's unreal.
Lucky for them is that they have a defense that has stepped up big time now. I mean, that huge performance against Chicago last week, and then a big one here. Graham Bailey says you got to take a victory lap for JOK. He looks special, has his inclusion in the Browns defense in recent weeks propelled them to the next level.
Yes. It's a little bit like we talked about with like the Cardinals. It's just like, not to that extent, but when you got an athlete like that at the second level, what they have a great advantage of is, like, if you get in a passing formation, they're like, okay, he can play middle linebacker, or we can kind of put him out at nickel. And, they're in a passing formation, but we're kind of still with a decent run defense. Or you want to throw wide receiver screens, he's going to blow that up. And then, of course, when you get back into, like, base looks, he's a great, stand-up linebacker. He's all over the place. He's unbelievable. He's like, he's just a guy, when you turn on the film, you just go, the speed, the aggressiveness. Mm-hmm. When he sees a hole in the run game, he runs through it quicker than the running backs. And, he has taken that defense to another level.
Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah fell into the Browns' lap in the second round, too.
Amazing,
fell in the draft, and
amazing.
Big part of that defense now. Bills defeat the Texans 40-0. Huge blowout. Give me the headline.
Would you say this was a double entendre when I talked about
double
this? Double
entendre, yeah.
Bills blank the Texans. As in they blanked them on the score.
Yeah.
And then you could also put a blank word there for like the Bills
blanked up
the Texans. The Bills killed the Texans.
Yeah, now we actually do have to
actually blank that. We have to blank.
Sorry, Kristen.
Yeah, sorry, Kristen.
Buffalo's second shutout in 4 games. Deluded Gooner says, damn okay, are the Bills the best team in the league?
I think I would say they're the best team. I'm going to say they're the best team in the AFC. I will say that.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as the league's concerned, they're in the running with them, the Cardinals,
Rams,
Tampa Bay.
Tampa.
the Rams. They're in that elite class, I think, yes. Especially, I know I've said this the last few weeks, but I think it's the way they're beating people that I think is the most impressive. Just defense, running the ball, a few splash plays from Josh Allen. But it's not like what we saw last year where you went, is it realistic? Can they really drop back 42 times a game and just think Josh Allen's going to make magic every week and go 13-3 or 13-4 or something like that? No, it's not. And they're showing you like, hey, we got other ways to do it. I mean, the defense was amazing yesterday. There was other than like maybe the first drive of the game or so, I never felt like Houston had a chance to move the ball. Yeah. They had the ball in some good field position early on in the game. I think off the Josh Allen interception, maybe it was early, or just some field position, and they were kind of down on Buffalo's side of the football field, and they couldn't do anything. They couldn't do anything. And I think that's what's amazing. I mean, they're whooping ass at the line of scrimmage. They got great schemes on the back end and creativity that way. And then with the offense, like, again, just showing some run game and Allen, him making a few plays running and then just a few laser beams. I mean, yeah, they're definitely one of the best teams in football, no doubt. And I don't think their offense, like I said last week, is still hitting on all cylinders.
And there were people during draft season that wanted you to talk more about Davis Mills out of Stanford. You were kind of reluctant to do that. Maybe now we kind of see why.
Well,
tough situation.
Well, it is a tough situation. They're not a great team. We know that too. But I think the one thing you can maybe look at from Davis Mills, whether it be the Thursday night game against the Carolina Panthers or yesterday, there's just not a lot of high-end talent. He can maybe be a starter in the NFL, but he's going to need a team and a system around him. He's not going to be able to cover holes on your offense or carry the team when things are not going good. That's not what he is, and that's where I thought he was a little different than the other top quarterbacks in the draft.
Yep, there was a very interesting quarterback playing for the Washington football team. His name is Taylor Heineke. Brought Washington back. They beat the Falcons 34-30. Your headline for that game is?
Oh, something the Heine. What was this, Pete? Showing your Heine? Saving their Heine. Saving their Heineke.
Yeah, that's a good one. That might be your best one.
Heineke.
The delivery was not the best, but that might be your best one.
My delivery, is it ever good? I mean, come on. I mean, seriously.
Taylor Heineke, like that type of player might be my favorite archetype of a player in the NFL. It's like a quarterback who's undrafted or drafted late, not a ton of athletic ability, but enough to move around the pocket, undersized, make stuff happen, kind of like Doug Flutie.
It's a scrapper.
Scrapper, kind of a quarterback.
Right.
That's my favorite. Taylor Heineke is that.
Scrapper who seems to have a really, just a calm and coolness about in the clutch. I think that's the biggest thing, right? Because, listen, he has moments of being underwhelming in the first three quarters sometimes where I go, oh, man, he should have hit that throw. Or, man, he checked the ball down too quickly and there was somebody open downfield. He shouldn't have done that. But, he never lets his team kind of get out of the game. And there he is late in the ball game with two really clutch drives to win the football game. And a lot of those clutch drives and those two clutch drives and plays, were him, making some high-level throws, buying some time. I mean, come on, the last touchdown where he scrambles to the left and throws to J.D. McKissick, that was special. That's special, but it was really cool. The fact that he had the wherewithal to go to the left and go, wait, where's my back? Oh, he's over there, and then see it because that's a dangerous throw to make because you don't know who's around the running back. Really awesome by him. I'm still really disappointed by the Washington defense.
Well,
they sucky-ducky.
Florian Grossberg says, self-scout thyself. Washington defense giving up 30 points a game. Maybe they need to self-scout this.
Yeah, they do. We've talked about it. D-line has not been dominant in any game so far.
How is that possible?
I don't know.
That was the one part of the team where I was like, all right, we know their defensive line is going to give teams problems.
I think the first thing is they're a little too bland on the defensive side. They got to be a little bit more creative. They're not giving teams anything to think about. So, basically offensive lines, you're basically okay, we're going to have this. We know it's going to be just those four guys. We're told all week how awesome they are, so we better play really good. And they can have kind of a plan of attack where, I don't see any diversity in the scheme. I never see anything that make ooh, look at that defensive alignment there. Some of the other top defenses in football, whether it's the Cardinals, the Rams, whoever, you're just talking about top teams, they get in some defense alignments on second and third down sometimes. I go, wait, I don't know all this. There's 3 linemen over here. There's 2 linebackers standing on the line of scrimmage over there. Yeah. And then there's a defense end outside them. They just are very bland that way. And I know I brought this up a little last week. Like, I think they got to start being a little bit more creative on that side of the ball just to jumpstart things, make defenses think a little bit until they find their groove, and then maybe they can go back to the vanilla, type of style they play on that side of the ball.
They got the win. Despite that, a lackluster effort, another one from the defensive side of the ball. Another team that really needed a win that got it. The Indianapolis Colts beat the Dolphins 27-17. Your headline there is
fish out of water.
Oh, yeah.
Fish out of water.
Dolphins don't look – this is not great for the Dolphins.
No, I mean, the horses always have advantages over fish or dolphins out of water. Always.
That's true.
Yeah,
so, it's where you play the game.
It's like a road game for the Dolphins.
Yeah, you put the horse in water, going to have a hard time.
Yeah, right. Dolphins got the advantage, right. I mean, Flipper's going to be all over the place, and that horse is going to lose, but not on land. Sorry.
Yeah.
Grass field. Yes. Great win for the Colts.
They needed it.
They did need it.
Hard schedule. They're not as bad as they've looked. Probably.
Exactly.
It's been a very difficult schedule.
Very difficult schedule. I mean, really, had a chance to beat the Rams. They've messed some things up. They're dealing with injuries. I think Carson Wentz played a pretty clean football game. I do think 2 weeks in a row, I've seen him be like a little bit more careful with his body, which is impressive. And then if they can get, like they did yesterday, Jonathan Taylor running the ball the way he did, like, they could climb back in this thing and make things interesting. Mm-hmm. I mean, gosh, they're only 1 game behind the Tennessee Titans now in their division, right? So here we go. Tennessee dropped the ball against the Jets, and now the Colts got a chance. And, the Colts defense is solid. I do think Wentz will continue to get better and better. And, to run the ball in that Dolphins D like that, I mean, the Dolphins defense is really damn good. I hope everybody knows that. Don't look at the stats or what they are, because their offense sucks. That's what's out of water right now. I mean, that's where they're suffocating. They just can't sustain any offense at all. Pass game, run game, there's nothing there. Mm-hmm. And, good for the Colts, good for Carson Wentz, kind of getting everybody off his back for a little bit.
Yeah, and Michael Pittman becoming a little bit of a combo with Carson Wentz. I think there were 4 of his 6 receptions came on 3rd down, so he's looking for him in big-time situations. So big win for the Colts. Congratulations to them. That was Give Me the Headlines presented by Hyundai. That was good. You didn't have you relied on Pete just like 2 times.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.